my loves, and welcome back to my channel. I'm coming to you tomato faced. This is not sunburn. I've just been for a walk and it's just not going down. It's just so hot. It's just not going down. Today I thought we'd do something fun and summery. I have pulled out all of my glisten liners and we're going to do something fun, I think. So, we're going to keep it quite light on the skin. I'm going to start off with my Laneige Glowing Makeup Serum. Not that you really need to encourage the glow at this time of year. If you're not from the UK, it is uncharacteristically warm. Like, we managed to have a barbecue yesterday. That is how warm it is. So, yes, us UK folks do not deal with the sun so well. I was going to have my window open, but there's a load of children playing out in next door's back garden. So, yeah, if I figured you guys probably wouldn't want to hear them screaming and jumping on the trampoline. So yeah, it's uncharacteristically warm here. I love the sun personally. Sam, he's not doing so well, let me tell you. So yeah, we're going to do something fun today. I'm going to start off for foundation with the Fenty Beauty Eavesdrops. This is like a semi-matte, I would say. It's probably one of the most matte foundations I've got in my collection. And I just like this one in the summer when you're kind of sweaty because it doesn't separate. Also, we're going to ignore all the little friends I have on my face. Something has made me break out. I cannot work out what it is. But it's quite intense, the breakout, which I do not love. So I'm just going to blend this in with a brush. Yeah, the breakout's quite intense. I can't work out what's done it. I can't work out what I've changed for it to happen. I'm not really sure, but they're super sore and super gross and scabby, which is really pleasant. And of course it would happen when I don't want to wear any makeup. Not that I feel like I have to cover them up. I went out with them uncovered before, but you know what I mean. It's typical that it happens at a time where I just want to be able to not worry about doing some spot coverage. Okay, as you can see, this is like, it's like a demi-matte kind of satiny, very much just like a skin finish foundation. I still get dry in the summer, not as dry as I am in the winter. Not quite as lizardy, but still quite lizardy. So I don't like doing anything that's too matte, but I do like something that's going to help kind of keep the sweat at bay. Concealer wise, we are going to go for something that is a lot more matte. This is Laura Mercier Real Flawless. I'm just going to pop a tiny bit of this under my eyes. And not that these can really be covered, but we're going to put some on my little friends anyway. Okay, and I'm just going to blend that in as well. I make sure when I'm wearing like a low coverage or a lighter coverage foundation that when I blend my concealer out, I really disperse it around the edges so that it sort of more naturally blends into the face rather than looking like you've just got a load of extra coverage in one area. Oh god, it is so hot. It's unbelievable. If you're an American and you've never been to the UK / don't know anybody from the UK, we don't have air conditioning in our houses because it's like below 15 degrees here for 95% of the year. And we also have walls that purposely keep the heat in. So even though this room is at the back of the house, which means it gets less sun, it is so hot in here right now. It is gross. I'm going to take my Makeup Forever HD Powder Foundation and we're just going to do a light layer of this all over the skin. You can tell how hot it is because I am powdering all over my face. making sure to get that upper lip. Because if anywhere's going to get gross, it's there. I'm going to go in with my Too Faced Makeup Insurance Setting Spray. Because, excitingly enough, the Benefit Professional Spray is finally done. So I can finally stop it leaking everywhere. For blush, I wanted to do something bright. This is P. Louise Coral Marls. I normally pull these off and squeeze a bit onto my hand because the sponges just kind of gross me out, I'm not going to lie. Ooh. I'm just going to squeeze a bit onto my hand, and then these sponges, they are quite handy, they just like click back on so it doesn't leak, because I did throw one away and that one is it's kind of everywhere. Right, okay, I'm going to take a Made by Mitchell, this is the Melissa Jade one, I can't remember the number. They do have one, it's just like an angled face brush, and I'm going to make sure I really, really work that blush in. I don't want too much. This is the problem with these P. Louise ones, they do let out too much product. So we're just going to pop some of that on each cheek, and then I'm going to take just a little Spectrum brush. The number's not on here either. It's just a little like round one, and I'm just going to blend that out just because there's still way too much on the brush. And also I've gone for something kind of more corally because one, I think it's more summery, but number two, like it looks less natural, like I'm just red faced, which I am, but I don't want to look red faced, I want to look coral cheeked. Like I said, these are very, very pigmented. Even if I did like the sponges, there's no way I could apply that one straight from the sponge. I'm just going to take my powder brush and just knock that down a peg or two. Then we're going to go in with the Jordana Tisha bronzer. This is the duo with the powder and the cream. I'm going to use the cream bronzer on a Lorac LP20. You know I love my Studio Pro 3 from BH, but this is a nice one as well for cream bronzer because you can get right in the kind of cheekbone area. Just pop that on. And then we're not going to use the powder from this duo today because I want something a bit more satiny and sheeny. So this is Fiji Fling, just for reference. But for bronzer, I'm going to go in with NARS Laguna because it's got a little bit of sheen to it. Also, we're very much getting to the end of this one as well. Can I finish 2 bronzers in 2024? Now that, to me, would be impressive. I'm just going to use that giant powder brush again, making sure I'm not leaving any of those loose bits on it. And we're just going to bronze my entire face, like heavily. I'm just going to take that down the neck. Right, okay, right, okie dokie. I wasn't going to do freckles, but I think I'm going to do freckles. We're going to use the Misguided Frex Appeal. I'm literally just going to dab some on everywhere. I know fake freckles aren't for everybody, I think I said this in the last video I did them, but I personally love them. As somebody who's quite kind of moly and freckly anyway, I always sad that I don't get like the typical kind of freckles across my cheeks. So yeah, the freckle trend is a good one. And then we're just going to take that brush we blended the blush out with and just pat those in. And on the nose. And then we're going to go in with some more setting spray. If you've never used this one before, it smells so good. Right, brows. I'm going to pop a little tiny bit of pencil in then, because I've just shaped them so they're looking not wild for a change, which is always a good thing. This is just the NYX Micro Brow Pencil that I'm trying to finish up currently. I'm literally just putting the tiniest bit through the front to add some definition, and then through the archway just so they match up a little bit better. Though I feel like over the years I have sort of got them under a bit more control than they were under before. They grow in similar directions now. And we're going to use the Big Bushy Brow Gel from Urban Decay. Right, okie dokie. I'm going to pop a little bit of Too Faced Shadow Insurance down. This smells like the setting spray is like a stronger version of this. It just smells very nice. I know not everybody's into a scented makeup product, but I don't mind them. That is definitely getting out soon. Just going to pop this on the lids. We're probably not going to do much liner on the actual lids because obviously they get like sweaty and gross. But this is just going to even out a little bit, and then I think we're going to pop a little bit of powder foundation on my lid as well. Just to stop any creasing. I'm just going to use a big fluffy brush. This is a Zoeva Luxe Crease 228, and I'm literally just going to whack this on here to stop any kind of oiliness and creasing. Today is definitely the kind of weather that you need to set your eyeshadow primer. And I'm just going to pop a little bit of that under the eye as well, just to ensure that is set. This blush looks ridiculous on camera. I promise it's not that deep. Look better. Does that look the same? I don't know. Anyway, it's not as bright as it looks on camera. I promise. It's very bright, but it's not that intense. Right, okay. I think for the wet liner, I want to do some like cutesy little flowers. So we are going to start off with Glisten Cotton Candy. I'm going to use the lighter pink shade. I'm going to spray all of these with setting spray just to give them a little bit of extra help. Now for the flower, I'm going to start off with a Give Me Glow G720, which is a really tiny little flat brush. I'm going to do my flowers a little bit differently today. I'm literally just using the edge of that brush. Not enough setting spray. Literally using the edge of this brush to create the like petal shapes. And then I'm going to take a tiny, teeny little brush, and we're going to go into the darker side. And I want this side to be quite liquidy. I'm going to wipe most of the product off the brush. And we're just going to use this to put some texture in the flowers. Like so. I hope you can see this. And then we're going to put a little middle in a minute. So, I'm going to do exactly the same on the other side. Just a little three-pronged flower. Three-petaled flower is what I'm trying to say. They're kind of looking like blobs currently, but I feel like when you put the lines in, it makes quite a lot of difference. So again, I'm going to make sure there's not too much product on that very thin brush. And we're just going to do some little lines. Oh, not in this case. Apparently they're going to come out like blobs in this case. That was not what I wanted, but it's fine. We can work with it. We're just gonna... The other side wants to be blobs. These will have to be blobs too. And then I am gonna take... I think we're gonna do white middles. I think so. We're gonna take milk. And we're going to spray this one, and I'm going to use the end of this brush. This is from the Morphe Sunset collection, I want to say. I'm not going to show you inside my white because it looks gross. I'm just going to put some little white dots in the middle there. That is too big. Right, okay. Let's just take this white. Going to try and take some of that white down. So we're going to wrap it around the same brush that we used, because that is just running. I'm actually going to kind of blend that into the flower. Yeah, that works. We're going to do the same with this side. So we've kind of blended that into the flower. I've just drawn dark pink all over myself. Right, so we've literally blended that into the flower with the tissue. I'm going to put a new little dot of white in the middle, and then I'm going to go back in with my brush with the darker shade on it, and we're going to add some more texture that we've kind of blended out a little bit. Okay. Right, we are going to do another flower. So, I'm going to do a lilac-y one, I think, this time. So, I'm going to do plum because it's kind of like a periwinkle blue. This one, gladly, is not as gross inside as milk. I just tried to put the little cap for the tiny mini brush on the setting spray. Good job, Cole. Alright, okay. So we're just going to mix this one up. We're going to use that same glisten brush. I'm just going to do one just underneath the other one. And we're going to have 4 petals. Okay. If they end up looking like blobs, it's totally cool. We love blobs. As I always say to my nail girl, it's just shapes. That's all graphic liner is. It's just shapes. Like it or not, there we go. Right that way. Okay. This one's ended up overlapping a bit. Okay, what I'm actually going to do with this lilac flower is I am actually going to do this as a blob. So I'm going to take the brush and I'm going to kind of blob it out. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take a darker purple. This is Fig. Now this one is very deep. So what I'm actually going to do is, the best thing about wet liners is you can mix them. So I'm going to take some of milk just on my brush, and if we work this into the pot for fig, we'll get a nice kind of lighter lilac colour, like so. And then literally all you'll need to do with that layer on is wipe it. And I'm actually going to use this brush on its edge to kind of stamp around, like so. And then I'm actually going to use the same trick that we just used. I'm going to pop a little bit of, where's it gone, where's it gone? I'm going to pop a little bit of plum on this wipe, and we're going to kind of work it in like that. So it's kind of like an ombre. Okay, and then we are going to take a teeny tiny brush. This is a Glisten number 7. We're going to take plum on its own now, and I'm going to line this round like it's a rose. So we're going to start in the middle, and we're just going to swirl around. It's okay if there's like gaps in your line. It's okay if your line's wobbly, because roses aren't 100% defined, if that makes sense. And you want to keep kind of connecting the line to the line below it, so it looks like it's petals. And then for the last line, you want to follow your blob around. If you make any kind of mistakes, what I always do with wet liner is before they've dried, I'll just like dab them out, and basically gets rid of your mistake. So we're going to get my hair out of that one. For a start, we're going to start in the middle, and we're going to work our way around. Not too much product on that brush. And if you do make a mistake, you can always just use the end of your brush or a wipe or a Q-tip to just work it back in. Bit of white, work that back in. And you've still got that kind of beautiful texture. So this one you're going to want to make sure there's like no bubbles on your brush. And you're touching the skin very lightly, because that's how you get like a nice, if you don't need to do like a neat thin line, if you just hold your brush very gently, just kind of steer it in the right direction, then you're going to get a nice thin line. But you're also not going to have to worry about it being super stable. And I always find it harder to do on this eye, because it's just easier to do it with your dominant hand on the right side of your body. And you can, if you feel like there's not enough lines, just add some in, just to make it look like there's more petals. And you just want to make sure like the other one is a bit closer, so there's more in the middle, so I'm just going to add in some extra lines in the middle. Okay, and then we are going to do a brighter one. And what I'm going to do for this one, I'm going to be a bit more precise for this one. So, just wipe the purple off here, or at least some of it. We're going to take vanilla, which is like a lime yellow. I'm absolutely covered in wet liner currently. It's like yeah, lime yellow is probably the best way you could describe it. It's a really unique colour. And we're just going to do another kind of 3-ish, 4-ish petal kind of blob. Okay, so that's the blobs again, and then we're going to do a green detail on this one. So, I've got so many open at the moment. We are going to take split peas, which is my favourite green one, and we are going to use the darker green shade. And I want a bit of a firmer brush for this one, so we're going to use the Katie Jane Hughes 22, which is a really kind of firm liner brush. And I've put very little water on this because we don't want a lot of liquid. And for this one, I'm just going to work around the outside with the darker green. And then we're going to use our little glisten brush to work that darker green into the light green. And then what we're going to do is put a little white dot in the middle. So we're kind of following around that petal shape with the darker green. And then we're going to use the brush we used vanilla on to work that darker green into the lighter green. More of the darker green. So this is my favourite thing about wet liner. You can just go in and you can build it back up and you can knock it back down and you can literally mix them on your face, which I love. And then we're going to take Field Day, which is a bright green. And we're going to use that to put a dot in the middle. And then I'm going to use my little tiny mini brush there just to pull this dot out. Almost like when you're swirling like peanut butter or whatever on top of brownies. You want to pull the dot out. And then we are going to go into vanilla mixed with Field Day. And we're going to do a tiny little dot. I'm not going to do a tiny little dot, we're going to do a massive dot apparently. In the centre of that flower. Okie dokie, so that is 17 different wet liners and 14 different brushes. We are going to, let Let me sort all this out. Sure, I've got all of the lids and the liners together. I'm going to leave them out to dry. I'm going to pop a little bit more foundation powder on the lid. Now I know where my liner's going to end. Making sure I'm going right into that inner corner. And then I am going to take a wee amount of Laguna. I'm just going to put that lightly through my crease, just so we've got a bit of definition. Obviously we can't do the end part of the crease, so it's just this front part here we're going to put some definition in. Something so like summery about a bronzer in the crease. I just think it makes me look like sun-kissed and tanned, which I love. Being Casper the Ghost Pale. Anything to make me look more sun-kissed and tanned is a win in my book. Right, okie dokie. We are going to do some lashes. These are the Bonnie Jolly Madison half lashes. I've told you, I've mentioned it before, that I'm getting really into half lashes at the moment. So I picked these up when I bought the Bonnie Blur foundation, which I should have been trying today, but I'd seen the girl who owns Bonnie Jolly herself was wearing number 7. And instead of actually looking at the shades, I went, well, I would say I'm like 4 shades lighter than her. So I just bought BB3. BB3, turns out it's actually for a deep skin tone. Her colours don't work that way. They're not named in colour order, basically. They're named in the order that she developed them. So BB1 is not the lightest. I think like BB12, BB13 is. So yeah, basically I messed up big time with that one. So we're not going to be trying that. I have messaged her to see if I can send it back. I totally get if she says no, but I'm hoping, because I've not opened it, I've not swatched it or anything, I'm hoping it'll be okay and I can reorder it in my shade. But there you go. Right, we're going to do some more setting spray. I've just popped some Eyelaw Lash Glue. I have got some sparkly rhinestones. Do I want to use sparkly rhinestones? Is sparkly rhinestones going to be too much? Maybe I should put just some like cute pigment in the inner corner. I don't know. I also don't know what to put on my lips. Right. I am actually about to film my spring summer lip wardrobe. So I'm probably going to do one of those. I'm just not sure which one, because a lot of them are quite bright. I feel like it might be a bit too much with this look. She says when she's going to wear this look to swatch them all, so it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. Ooh, these are pretty. These are very pretty. I know you probably all think I'm insane wearing lashes on a hot day, but literally I'm going to finish filming this video, film my May P. Louise video, film my lip swatch video, and then I'm taking all this off, so I'm not going outside with these on. Is there anything worse than when your lash glue gets re-sticky in the heat? And you start like sticking to yourself? No. Since that question, there isn't anything worse. Okay, these are beautiful. Oh, so gorgeous. Perfect for this look as well, because they don't kind of overtake it. Right, I think we're going to stick to something simple on the lips. So I'm going to use Fenty Hot Cherry Heat Lip Gloss. I love this lip gloss. It's such a good colour. Right. While we are waiting for those lashes to dry, what do we want to do in the inner corners? I've got an idea. Is Made by Mitchell Fairy Kitten, sorry, which is basically a white with a pink and green reflect in it. I don't know whether you can see that because there's so much blush still on the back of my hand. But I'm just going to scrape out a bit onto my hand. And I'm going to use a little flat brush. This is a Lorac LP17. And I'm just going to pop this in the inner corner. I'm going to go matte. I just want to pop a little bit in the inner corner and then bring it up onto the inner corner of the lid. But like I said, we're not going crazy with it, just a little bit. And then I'm going to bring it down my lash line because, you know, that's my jam. Okay, I've just got full blown sparkles in my eyeball, which cannot be good for me, but there you go. Okay, we are going to do a tiny bit of YSL Lash Clash Mascara. Always when I do half lashes, make sure I put plenty on the outer and inner corner so they really blend. Bit on the bottom lashes. Stick this outer corner, it's lifted back down. That is the look. I actually really love how this came out. I feel like it got a little bit ropey there in the middle, but I actually love how this looks. It's such a fun look. It kind of gives you an idea of 3 kind of flowers that you can do with wet liner. Yeah, I love this. It's really cool. And I love experimenting with wet liner. It's such fun. If you do like this look, let me know in the comments. If you are a wet liner lover or a wet liner hater, again, let me know in the comments. I do hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more from me, hit subscribe. And if you want to make sure you never miss another video, hit the bell icon and YouTube will notify you next time I post. You've been fabulous. I've been Coleoftheball and I'll see you next time. Bye!